My name is Don Huffman, Huffman, and I'm speaking to you from Napanee, Ontario.
And Donald, could you let us know of like the type of work that you were completing and how like what type of injury or illness that you are living with today as a result of the workplace?
I was working on construction, heavy equipment and such, quarry life, and above ground mines in Ontario and eastern Ontario and including parts of Quebec along the border. From that, I got throat cancer and had to have a total laryngectomy. And then a year or so ago, I had developed lung cancer in my right lung and a center mass in my chest. And I have to live with that now every single day. And I'm on oxygen. Things I can't used to take for granted, I can't do them anymore.
And I know you mentioned a few things there, but when did you first start to experience, let's say the initial cancer?
The very first time I was, we were doing a library in Kingston, pouring concrete for it as a ready mix driver and whatnot. And I would have to say it was at least 13, 14 years ago.
Okay, and how would you describe the health and safety situation with the employer that you were working for?
Uh, in some cases, they weren't too bad. In other cases, it was always dusty, always dirty, and you were always in the midst of it because you're right in a quarry where there's drilling, there's blasting, there's big trucks rolling in and out. The dust is flying everywhere, and it's simple as that. It's not a very clean job at all. And
And
there's two cement silos over top that blow off 5 pounds of air, and the bag house leaks, and the cement powder and the slag powder blows into the air onto your vehicle, onto you, and you just work through it every day.
was there ever an option of, say, like wearing protective equipment, or did the employer ever at least notify you of the potential risks of the workplace?
The first employer, W.M. Rogers, if I may say his name, no, there was very, very little in the safety range. That safety range, like the paper, and he didn't know any better than either because he had these little paper masks, and they weren't like the proper masks that you should be wearing.
And do you know if say the health and safety measures with the employer that you were working for at the time you got sick, do you know if their situation, or the measures that they took to keep workers safe, if they improved after your illness became, or your claim began?
They very much improved. We got our own lunchroom now with air conditioning. You could eat your lunch without the dust and cement powder rolling in on top of you. Yeah, they did a spot for the workers that you could go in actually, and if you had to, you could have a quick shower. And they got that all in, and they still haven't got the one air duct fixed yet, as far as I know. The dust collector, it's called, over top of the plant. Every time you get a load in your truck, the cement powder just blows everywhere, and so does the slag. So you have to be aware of that. You have to steer clear as best you can. You can't leave your truck, by the way. because you can't walk away from it, and for the best, you got to stay there in it and breathe it, and you wear it on your clothes, on your skin. I also have Bowen's disease from
And
it.
sorry, I was gonna ask as well, when your WSIB claim began, like when you filed the claim, did the employer help move the process along, or did they oppose your claim?
No, the manager in Kingston, his name was, last name was Sampson. He helped me fill the WSIB paperwork out and everything, and drove me down the street to the office and got the rest of the information and looked it all up and helped me fill that out. That was not a problem because they knew.
And did they continue to help you throughout like the course of the claim, like say as it progressed and as the WSIB continued to make decisions?
They did. My boss had written a letter for me. My coworkers have all written a letter for me, and well, my supervisor, and they had joined in on help to explain how dirty and dusty that we were working with.
That's great. And I wanted to also ask you, how would you describe your experience, you know, getting health care since the
Gee,
illness
not
manifested?
good.
Not good.
Uh, well, the first one, the first time I was not seen, but the second time when my throat started to bleed and I couldn't swallow anymore, then Dr. Hall in Kingston at the cancer clinic, he took over my case. And he didn't put it through WSIB or anything like that for at that time because he didn't realize that that was my occupation for so many years, ever since I was 16 years old, and I'm now 66.
And how was your experience getting healthcare, say through the WSIB?
Non-existent.
And
Everything to do the surgery, to do the rehab, everything. I did it on my own because I was after the claim came back, it was denied
sir, how would you describe?
within
Oh,
3 weeks.
okay.
Right.
Uh, well, I wanted to ask you, how would you describe how you've been treated by the WSIB?
Neglectful. If I can put one word to it, neglectful. They brushed me aside and waited and waited and waited and blocked me at every time I called up there. They was always going to do something, and they sent Patricia Ross down. She was the investigator, and she said that she parked her brand new car out in the parking lot. Within 5 minutes, it was covered with cement powder. She was very disappointed how dirty everything was, and the leakage, and just not cleanliness at all, no cleanliness whatsoever. And she put that in the report.
And sir, I know you mentioned that your claim was at least initially denied by the WSIB. Are you currently receiving any benefits from the WSIB?
Yes, I am.
Are you receiving, or could you explain to us like what you are getting from the WSIB?
It's to help pay for somebody to help snowblow. Since I can't do it, snowblow or shovel the driveway out or get groceries or do laundry or whatever like that, and it's only $638 a month.
And have all your, let's say, your claims issues been resolved at the WSIB?
No, I was still waiting on the when they paid me out instead of paying me at union rate that I should have been getting. they decided that I should have been able to drive a school bus. And so they paid me off at $11 an hour instead of the $23.90 an hour I was getting driving these ready mix truck and operating the heavy equipment. And so that we're still waiting for the decision, either yes or no. They gave me 1 year's pay, the full amount, and then they took it away. The rest of it was cut into, which made me very upset and very disappointed because that was my money. I had earned it. And they said they decided that I should have been able to drive a school bus, but upon I had tried to get employment, such as driving a school bus, and we have one of the largest bus lines down here, Martin's Bus Line, and they said not a chance they wouldn't hire me because of the morphine I was on, the antidepressants, and my physical the way to communicate with the kids and stuff like that, it just wouldn't work. And I'd already been through there, and then they just went ahead and paid me. They never said, did you try it? Did you do this or anything? It was a forced stop on me. Now I'm trying to get the decision to either yes or no. Can I get the rest of my money, please? Because you have no business doing that to me. That is unfair. That's like stealing. When you pay an insurance company and you have a car accident and the car is worth $10,000 and the insurance don't give you $2,000 a year, you should have been driving Volkswagen or a Datsun or a cheap car. Like, no. Sorry.
I was going to ask you as well, how has this workplace illness, this occupational illness, impacted you and your family?
Well, let's just put it this way. I had a 3-bedroom elevated bungalow out in the country with a 2-acre land and a private pond, and life was good. We had 2 vehicles. I was able to look after my family, and all that was taken away from me because of they wouldn't help me. I couldn't get any help anywhere. Unfortunately, I had to get on the ODSP. That was the only people that would help me at all. Was the ODSP people, and that's the only help I could get. That and whatever else I could do by myself. They said and talk about rehab and all this other stuff and work specialists and everything like that. Like, to me, I had none of that at all.
And let me ask you, if you had the ability to change the WSIB, what types of changes would you make?
Take people's claims that they have serious.
So this June 1st marks 40 years since the first Injured Workers Day. And it also marks, obviously, 40 years of struggle by the injured workers community. So what message would you like to share with your fellow injured workers or fellow workers in general?
Whatever you do, don't give up. Do not give up. That's what they want. They want to starve you out.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you.